Everybody, it's Jonathan Bolano and Jonathan Agudelo. We're just setting up right now. We're getting a little bit of a late jump start, but that is not a problem because we are still going to hit the ground running once we get all these feeds up and out. I'm going to give you guys...
Sorry, I'm just getting on my page because we joined in a little bit late. That's my fault. I pressed the button late. But welcome again to Let's Talk, as Mr. Bolano was saying. Jonathan Bolano and Jonathan Agudelo here. So, sorry, I'm just getting on my page because we joined.
My first time using a computer. So we're going to let a couple of you jump online right now. If you guys are joining, thank you for joining. Make sure that you like or comment on the video. Tag someone that you think might be interested in understanding what a seller is going through. We're getting into our new series right now. Oh, wait, this is your video. I'm going crazy, man. Let's see.
You're watching my video.
Yes, I was watching his video.
I waved at you, though.
So this is why we need to get like a video groups to take care of this stuff up front. See if that was me watching.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a couple over at the top.
Merlis, how you doing?
Thank you for joining us. We're just getting set up and we're just letting a couple people join right now.
We're going to be talking a little bit more on the seller side today. Well, a lot more. It's all going to be based on the seller side of the deal.
We got a couple over here. Jake Vargulish. How we doing, Jake? And Laura Paola.
What's up, guys? Julian, Steven. Thank you for joining us.
We're just trying to get loaded up here so we can see your questions and what you guys are typing.
While we're loading up and getting everybody joined, just want to remind everyone, if you share the video, if you share this live feed, you are being entered in, you'll be entered into a little hat. Let's say we're going to pick a name out. Every week that you share the video, we will... My floof, how are you? That is my fiance, Jennifer Vasquez. Hello. When every time that you go in there and you share the video, we will go ahead and put your name in the hat. If you share it this week, you share it next week, you share it next week. We do it for 5 weeks in a row. Every time you share it, your name goes into the hat one more time. So share it as much as you can. It's just another way to reach out more people that might be interested, might need to know some of these things we're talking about. And at the end of the 5 weeks, the winner will receive a $20 gift card to the location of their choice.
Hi, Yvonne. How we doing? Thank you for joining us.
Also, at the end of the 5 weeks, we will have a little 3-question quiz, let's say, and whoever answers each question correctly, the first person to answer, comment the correct answer, will receive a $5 gift card to either Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know what Starbucks is, but definitely Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts.
All right. So I guess we're getting started. First and foremost, I want to say thank you again for everybody for joining. Make sure you share the video. You have a chance at winning the $20. I know he just jotted all that out, but we're letting you guys know again. $20 gift card could be in your pocket within the 5th week if you share this. And if you share this every single week, what happens?
If you share it every single week, it's more names, more times your name gets put in the barrel, in the hat, in the basket, whatever you want to call it.
Boom. So let's see, where are we going to start today? We're going to start with week 1, and we're going to switch gears a little bit. So most of the time, this good-looking guy with 4 eyes right here is the one usually talking, except usually he has 2, and he switched it up for us today. He wants to keep you guys on your toes, right? But today we're going to switch it up, and we're going to be talking to the sellers, and he's going to be asking the questions. So I get to do a little bit of talking today, and so some of the topics that we're going to cover, I don't know if you want to jot the questions out them.
No, I think we'll just jump in. We'll just ask the questions.
Jump right in?
Yeah, we'll just ask the questions and start rolling. So one question is, so right now, a lot of people are asking me, is it the right time to buy or is it the right time to sell? Is it the right time to sell?
I think this is the perfect time to sell, and the reason why it's the perfect time to sell is because you have a lot of houses that are not on the market. The supply is low, and their demand is really, really high. There's a lot of people out there looking to buy houses, but there's nothing out there. Yeah. And the caveat to this, and the funny part to this is, it's causing things to get into bidding wars. So it's causing buyers to get into bidding wars. And what does that mean to me as a seller? That means that buyers are coming up to your property and saying, I want that, no, I want that, no, I want that, no, I want that, no, I want that. And they're sitting there fighting over it, but with money. And guess what that means for you? That means more money in your pocket. Yeah, I'm not fighting over him, Jennifer. You don't have to worry. I don't like, forget it.
He needs hair.
So anyways, where was I now?
Sorry, I threw you up. I got him flustered. I apologize, everybody.
I know.
No, what you were saying is the bidding wars, and it gets into like this kind of rat race over here where everybody's trying to get to these houses, you know?
Right. So, so these buyers are trying to get to the house, and it ends up equaling more money out for the seller in the long run because one person outdoes the next, which outdoes the next, which outdoes the next, and you're getting stuck in these situations where houses aren't even appraising at the values that these buyers are going out for. So that means you're really getting top dollar for your house. Think about that one more time. You're getting top dollar. The houses won't even appraise for the numbers that some houses are selling for at this point in this market.
And I've actually seen that firsthand where you've had sellers that are like, all right, I'll put it out there for $250, and they have 3 or 4 offers at $250. So then they start going highest and best, and they end up getting offers at $260, $270, $280. And then, yeah, that happens. So they go to get the appraisal. They're like, yeah, no, we're at about $260. Well, you have offers in that are higher than that because of the demand is so high. I've seen that firsthand. So.
Yes. Just because I had a whole bunch of people just line up on the Bolano homepage, we hit about like 6 or 7 people. Hello, Kim. Nice little kid in the background, as you just seen.
Did Julius just run across?
Yes, we always have kids running around here, so don't judge us. But for those of you that just joined, thank you for joining. Make sure to share the video. We'll explain again in a little bit why you want to share the video. What's the next thing I wanted to get into?
So the next question I really have for you is, what's the first step? Once you realize, all right, it's the right time to sell, you know what, yeah, I think I'm going to sell my house. What do they do? What's the first thing a seller should do?
So the first thing a seller should do is always look for an agent. You want to find somebody that's professional, that's been doing this, and understands what's entailed with selling a property. Understands all the steps. It's kind of like you're going to do heart surgery. You're going to go and look for somebody that knows how to do it, that does this on a regular basis, because you're not going to just sit there and just start opening up your own chest and do your own thing. I know that's kind of extreme, but we get extreme sometimes. Yeah. Oh, Jennifer just joined over here as well. Hello, Jennifer. Oh, is that not the same one?
It's supposed to be only my feed. No, I'm just kidding.
She likes ours better. So the first thing that they want to do is find an agent and someone that they respect, someone that they trust, someone that's going to look out for their best interests, someone that's going to put them first in all deals.
Philip, how you doing, man?
Because at the end of the day, the agent's going to be representing you and helping market your home. So that's going to be a big thing. You want to make sure that you pay attention to, like, how does an agent market their homes when they have things listed? Are they going around taking pictures with their phone? Or are they getting actually a professional photographer in there to put your house on the best display possible? I mean, if you're going to go with an agent, you're basically saying that you're not going to do a FSBO. And I'm going to get into FSBOs for a second, so I'm going to talk for a little bit. FSBOs are for sale by owner, all right? And to me, a FSBO is like doing a garage sale. So when you go to a garage sale and you go to find things, you expect to see things half off.
Yes.
Sometimes 3/4 off. No matter what, you're not looking to pay top dollar for it. And that's the same perception that comes across when you're thinking about a FSBO. And so working with an agent, it's like putting that house now in a store. A reputable store, like a Target.
Target.
Right?
Yeah.
And so you want to basically put your house out there to get the most money. And putting it with an agent is going to be your best opportunity, your best chance at doing that. Right? So the agent's going to help you negotiate. They're going to keep your best interests in mind. They've done this for a while, and they've been paying attention to how things are done, and they're marketing your house, making sure that it's getting the maximum exposure out there, so that way your house truly can get stuck in these bidding wars, thus making you get top dollar. But yeah, so that's my first step.
Wow, it's pretty intricate there, I gotta say, but it makes sense. A lot of that stuff is stuff that people don't even think about. Like, what do I need an agent for? Why am I going to give somebody some of my money?
Right.
When I'm going to sell this house for $300,000, why do I need to give him, $10,000, $15,000, $5,000, $6,000, whatever it may be? Why am I going to pay him that? Well, that agent, him or her, may be the one that gets you to that price range. They might be the reason why you're there.
Right.
Most likely they are the reason why you're there, as opposed to you going on your own and being like, okay, yeah, and taking $280 instead.
Right.
Or $275,
Right. Just so that way you guys all know, because I had a whole bunch of people that just joined up over here on Bolano Home. If you guys do have questions in regards to real estate, right now we're talking about sellers, talking to the sellers out there, but if you have other questions outside of that, do not hesitate from dropping them on there. We're here watching it. I have my computer right here paying attention. Agudelo has his phone over here, so if it looks like we're looking at 2 different places, it is literally because we are. So I apologize. It looks a little crazy, but we're working on getting another stand for that one, so that way we can put them side by side and have it all lined up at the same time.
Lined up together,
right?
Yes.
But thank you guys for joining. I see you all out there. Jennifer, Corey, Kevin, Pedro, David, and Teresa. Or Teresa. can't see the picture, so I can't tell too much. Uh, so, anyways, moving forward. We're always having fun here, right?
Moving forward. So, other than obviously, it's the right time to sell. We know what our first step is at this point. What else do the sellers need to know in order to jump in on this market?
Right. So the next thing, so you pick an agent. You maybe have gone through a couple, or you just came to the Bolano homepage.
Tatiana, how are you?
And you realize that the Bolano Home team has basically everything that you guys are looking for. We got the marketing, we got the exposure, we have all that other stuff.
Yes.
The Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
Cool loan officer.
Cool loan officer.
Yeah.
So what do you call it? So you want to get to the next point. You picked your agent. Now you're going to sign a listing agreement. All right. And so what that means is that you're going to sign with that agent saying that you're only going to work with them, and they're going to represent you through the transaction of selling your property for a certain amount of time. It's pretty straightforward.
Yep.
And we do have other videos where we do get deeper into that, so I won't jump on that one too much. But this will be a little side segment. Go to YouTube, add Bolano.home. We have all of our videos there. We've been making a ton of videos on a regular basis. So yes, go there, and that there's more information on that right there. Following the listing agreement, though, I'll let you get to the next question. I won't actually cut you off. I'm so used to asking the questions. I'm a mess.
So I have a question for you. Hi, Monica. How are you? What's a CMA?
What is a CMA?
I know. Yes, I know. As a realtor and as a loan officer, we know what those are. But I know a lot of people out there would like to know what a CMA is.
I figured I was going to say something funny, but probably only funny to me. But a CMA is a comparable market analysis, all right? Comparative market analysis.
Okay.
So what that is, and this is something that sellers are going to have to deal with, is basically taking your house and understanding how many bedrooms there are, how many bathrooms, what the square footage is, what the lot sizes looks like, and then also what the condition of the house, putting that all into a ball and saying what else in the nearby neighborhood, roughly a quarter mile at best, like if we can really do that, within 6 months time frame, how much those houses have sold for, and figuring out that with the same number of bedrooms and all that other stuff I just mentioned, and making a comparison to that to say, how does this compare to those that have sold to put a price on my house?
So, for example, if you have a single family with 3 bedrooms, you're not going to be comparing it to a 2-family with 3 bedrooms on each floor in that same area. So it's not just what any house in the area. You're talking about stuff that literally matches basically in the most basic sense. Obviously, every house is different, but 2-family, 3 bedrooms each with 3,000 square foot.
Exactly.
The whole nine. And you want to get as close to those numbers as possible.
Correct. And so there's 3 things that we look at for that as well, because when you do a CMA, you can do it on 3 different things, because there's 3 things that we see as realtors, and that's active listings. That's basically, if you're listing right now, that's going to be your competition. There's going to be your expired listings, which are the ones that maybe failed. The agents weren't able to sell them for whatever reason. Yeah. Maybe they weren't marketed properly. Maybe they weren't represented properly, and it just didn't work out. So it stayed on the market for a bit and then dropped out. Or it's on there sold. All right, and sold is your realistic. That's basically telling you what the buyers in today's market are willing to do. I mean, we're talking the last 6 months, so we're talking economics to some small degree. And in that general vicinity of what buyers that are coming to this area are willing to pay for a property with these number of bedrooms, baths, lot size, square footage, and that condition. And that's your realistic stuff. Okay. So when you do a comparative market analysis, you want to pay attention to that in addition to what are the actives doing. Because you also want to understand that you're pricing your house properly, because when they're looking at your house, let's say we have 5 houses right here. Yeah. They're going to take these 5 and they're going to drop yours in price-wise, and then they're going to take the one here and the one here and say, does it make sense? And if yours here is actually in worse condition than these, than these, then they're going to say, why is it so highly priced? And so the whole concept of getting your home sold within 30 days is basically negligible or not existent.
Gotcha.
I don't think negligible is the right word.
Oh, wow. It's almost like unreachable, unattainable.
Yes.
Say. Okay.
It's unrealistic.
Unrealistic. There you go.
So.
Okay. So what does a seller look for in a potential buyer when they come over to make an offer? So let's say you are the seller's agent, and Lisette comes on over with a buyer, and she says, "Hey, I have this buyer."
Right.
What is the person as a seller going to be looking out for in that regards? Are they going to need any kind of documentation, anything that lets them
They're
know?
going to get a picture of the Bolano team that says this is the best team ever, and then boom, the house is sold.
Okay.
No, but on a serious note,
So,
as a seller,
picture of the Bolano team. So if you show up with a picture, that means it's a guaranteed.
I shouldn't say
that
that.
house.
That's like old advertising. I was just kidding. This is not a real statement from the Bolano team. I am just a hologram or something. Just
No, so
nerd status.
so basically to
Right.
make sure everybody remembers the question, goes back to it, whatever. It's what is the seller looking for? How does the seller know you're a serious buyer? What are they looking for in order for you to be like, hey, you know what? All right, this it's a great offer, because I'm sure you're going to hear a lot of offers.
Right.
And how do you differentiate between somebody that's just trying to make an offer and seeing if they can make it work, or somebody that's confident and poised to make that purchase?
So the thing that you want to make sure that you're aware of first is when they come with an offer, they come with a pre-approval, or not with a pre-approval,
Pre-approval.
but they
What's
are
that?
pre-approved. And so so a pre-approval is. I was going to say something funny again, but it's not funny, so I'm going to keep going again. A pre-approval is basically the ticket that you can get into the ride, right?
Yes,
that's
exactly
what Mr. Agudelo
what it
says
is.
at every single one of our pre-approval
Yes,
videos.
yes.
So what it says is this buyer is approved by a bank to say that they can afford this property. All right. So that doesn't mean that they're going to hand you a pre-approval at the beginning, but the real estate agent is responsible for that and verifying that they're working with a pre-approved buyer. All right. And so that's one of the first things that you want to be aware of, because you don't want somebody that's coming up out of nowhere and just saying, "Hey, I'll give you $400,000 for your property."
You're like, yeah, sold.
Yeah, right. And then all of a sudden you find out that the person's got negative $2 in their bank account and they owe money back to the IRS, to their car dealership, to the last home that they foreclosed on, and so on and so forth. And now you basically made a deal with somebody, and now you just wasted your time because you had all these other people that were pre-approved by banks and said, "Hey, these people do have the credit, they do have the right debt to income ratio, they do have all the right things that they need in order to get proof for a loan for this property." So that's one of the first things that you want to be aware of as a seller and working with your agent. So we also have another video on that. So there's another segue to checking out our videos
check
both
out
on
the
YouTube
videos.
and Facebook for those things. Wow, we have a lot of people that jumped in today.
Yes, you guys are.
I think that the
right
reason
now.
why this happened is because I am actually on my personal page right now. Oh man.
All right. Let's get excited later. Let's keep going with the questions.
All right.
No, it's great to see everybody joining in on the videos. It's awesome. Hello to everybody on Bolano's page. I've been staring down here at my phone, but hi to you all. While you set that up over there,
Yep. No, keep going.
I got
I'm
another
listening.
question for you that many sellers and buyers actually will have to deal with. I've actually dealt it on the buyer side a lot when people have questions on this, but I'm sure the sellers do too. What does an inspection entail, and is it necessary in order for the purchase?
So the inspection, that basically is somebody coming through, and it's not always necessary for the purchase. Sometimes you have cash buyers, or you have people that are willing to just buy the house as is, and so they'll bypass that. But what the inspection is somebody that comes in and makes sure that the house is basically in good condition. They go through your electrical, they go through your roof, and they find any kind of discrepancies that are within the property to make sure that the buyer is safe and not buying a house that's maybe has a potential for like falling over tomorrow,
So not like
has
buying a
termites.
lemon, basically, like when you're buying a car.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Actually, that's a great comparison.
All right, so then, now there's also obviously an appraisal,
Right.
correct? What is the difference between the inspection and the appraisal?
So the appraisal is where the bank now comes in and verifies that the house is actually worth the money that the seller is selling it for.
Okay.
And so what's happening, and I think you could probably speak to this one a little bit more too, is the bank is going to be taking a chance to on you by saying, hey, or on the buyer and saying, hey, I'm going to loan you this money for this number of this amount, but they want to make sure that their money's protected, and the protection is the asset, which is the house. And so they want to make sure that if this person forecloses and they don't actually afford everything, like they can't afford everything, that if the bank has to put it back on the market, they're going to get their money back. And I'll let you jump into that maybe a little bit more if I haven't answered that.
Yeah, so, it's pretty much spot on. yeah, the appraisal is gonna come back. It's a valuation of your property. They're gonna be able to confirm with the bank, like, yeah, you're making a good investment by letting this guy or this girl borrow this money. You're letting them. They have the backing, basically. Worst case scenario, if something does happen, you're not going to be hurting. You're going to be able to put this property back on the market, sell it on the sell the loan to some other lender or whatever, because they'll be able to put it on the market. They're going to get their money's worth one way or another, whether the borrower is paying or they foreclose and they have to put it back on the market again.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
now, some things to consider, and I've seen this a little bit on my end. And it's more the buyers. I warn my buyers all the time, like, hey, if you find a house that's in this and this and this condition, just keep in mind that you might have to do a different kind of loan. You might have to do a different kind of financing. You might need some kind of help, not just a regular FHA or conventional loan. So, how important is the condition of your home as a seller?
It's extremely important.
Give me 1 second. I'm sorry, guys.
I'll let him go take care of that. So the condition of the home is extremely important because, well, and we're going to touch this on different levels as well. So there's a condition in the sense that the house, like let's say the floors are ripped up and such, but then there's also the condition of whether or not the property is decluttered, the yard is like clean, so the house is power washed. All right, so those are all very important things to be aware of. And so those types of conditions can affect the value of the property because we're talking about somebody walking up into the house and that's your face value or what's it called again? When you're from the sidewalk.
Curb appeal.
Curb appeal. Boom. Thank you. So and that's where everything starts. And so that's like your first impression. So if you walk up to like a person, as you know, and they have this like stank look on their face, like they've just kicked someone's butt. You're probably not going to be like, you're not going to want to go talk to them. They're going to be, they look miserable. They look like they're just unhappy people. You're not going to want to go and talk to them. And the same thing goes for a house. The house is all dirty. It's not power washed. The grass is growing out the sidewalk. And it looks like they have like Bambi about to jump out from one side of the lawn to the other over the crosswalk. Like, it's not a, although Bambi's a cute thing.
That might entice me to buy, I'm just saying.
Right,
but I get what you're saying.
But you get the point. So that's part of the condition, and you want to make sure that you pay attention to those things. And we're going to get into that once again in later videos. But where was I going with that? So the condition of the property lies on a multitude of things. There's the condition of the land, how you manage that. There's a condition on the property on the outside structure that you want to pay attention to, and whether or not that the siding is all done, it's not like falling apart, roof is updated or it's at least being taken care of. The gutters don't have a load of dirt in them. The condition of that's a big important part of the condition of the property. And then when you walk into the front door, what do you see? Are the pots and pans sitting in the sink, or are they all put away, or are they all stacked like neatly somewhere? How's the plates look, and so on and so forth. And we'll get into that more later on. But those conditions of the property and how it's structurally sound is going to play a part in the CMA and how others view it. I don't know if that answered that completely or if I just went off.
No, and I mean, no, it did. It did answer that on that end, and also on my side, again, on the loan officer side, what I do see a lot is, what's up, Steve? Is a lot of people look at a house and they're like, oh, it just needs a little bit of work. We'll do the work later. As a seller, I believe you should know if your property will pass whatever inspection may be needed, whether that be FHA, whether that be a conventional loan. Will your property pass that inspection, the appraisal, the FHA appraisal, the inspection, whatever? Because that's going to determine if you might know right off the bat, okay, I'm probably going to be getting a lot of 203K loans. That's going to be the offers I'm going to get, where people are going to want to, as we discussed in prior videos as well, a 203K loan is where you take the loan out for the purchase price, plus whatever it's going to cost to rehab the property, to fix whatever it needs fixing.
Right.
So I think as a seller, it might be very important for you to realistically see where you're at. If you say, hey, I have peeling paint, I have this, that, and the
Yep.
other thing, and I don't want to touch it. I don't want to put money into it. I just want to sell it as is. Then that's fine. But you might be dealing with a loan that might take a little longer on the buyer side, unless it's a
Right.
cash deal or anything like that, of course.
Right.
But when it comes to, again, on the lending side, if your house is in that condition, then you know what to expect. Then you know, all right, yeah, I might have to take a 203K loan from the buyer, and that's fine. But I do know now my time frame changes from 30 to 45 days to possibly 60 to 90 days,
Right.
and so on and so forth.
And so, as sellers, you want to be highly aware of these various types of loan deals, because what's going to happen when you do get in the bidding wars, if you follow the steps that we lay out in all of our videos, with like staging and so on and so forth, you get into bidding wars, and you're going to have all these different types of buyers coming at you saying, hey, I want to buy your property. Then your real estate agent's going to come up to you and try to give you an opinion. Well, if you don't know anything, and let's say your real estate agent doesn't make the right choice for you, or isn't paying attention, or you just didn't choose the right realtor, then you could get stuck with maybe the worst thing. Or like I've seen it happen before, where things like that have happened, and the seller was not properly represented, and it's a bad look. So you want to be aware of these various things, because when you get these offers brought to you by your realtor, you can make a conscious, an educated decision on which one you want to go with, which one's the actually strongest deal for you, because it's
Strongest
you that
buyer.
matters. Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Alrighty. Well, that answers my questions, man.
Right. We didn't have any questions this entire time. It was pretty quiet today. Does anybody have any questions so far? I see a few of you on there right now. I don't know if that's Silver or Kim, Pedro, and one other. I cannot see that picture for some reason. Who do we have over here?
Right now, a couple people just joined. A couple people have left.
So,
Eduardo, ¿cómo está?
we're going to throw out there again that if you are watching and you have questions, it doesn't have to be about selling. It doesn't have to be about anything in particular. It just has to be about real estate, and we're here to answer it. That's what this entire thing is about. So if you are in the real estate transaction process, or you know somebody that is, comment, tag them, share it. We are doing 5 weeks of videos regarding different topics. So we're going to call each of these like sessions, and each one in there is going to be an episode. So we're right now on session 2, episode 1. We're talking to sellers. And we answered 3 questions today that has to say, is it the right time to sell and why? What is the first step and what do I need to know? Going forward, at the end of this, at the 5th week or the 5th episode, we're going to be asking you guys 3 questions where you guys, if answered first and answered correctly, have the ability to win $5 gift cards. And then in addition to that, what we're doing is, if you share these videos while we're doing the video, we're going to jot your names down. All right. We're going to put them to the side, and then we're going to put them into a, how we doing, Paul?
Maybe 15 minutes.
And so if you guys do share it, we're going to take your name, we're going to put it into a pot, and if you guys are picked, then you have the ability to win a $20 gift card.
Yes, to a place of your choosing.
To a place of your choosing, if it has
Gift cards.
$20 gift cards. So you got to work with us too.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys have any questions, any comments, we'll take them right now. Other than that, we want to thank you guys for joining. We appreciate you guys always showing up and following us.
Yes,
Make sure that
absolutely.
you add Jonathan Agudelo on Facebook. I think that was a pretty easy one to spell, but if you want, you can spell it for him.
It's Jonathan, Jonathan, obviously. Agudelo, it's A, G like giraffe, U, D like dog, ELO.
All right,
That's exactly
and then,
how I say it to anything I apply for, or anything that asks for my name by spelling.
Boom. And so the other side is you can add Bolano Home. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we're on YouTube. So go to one of those sites, go to all of them. Make sure to subscribe to YouTube, because we're posting up videos every single week. Let's Talk is not the only video we do. We do other things for buyers, for sellers, and we will get into investment type of talk. And we also do things with like specialists, like people that deal with mold and water damage.
Correct. Yeah.
But outside of that, I think that this pretty much sums up today, because we don't really have that many questions.
Any questions at all in regards to what we went over today? Possibly on the buyer side, first steps of any of this stuff? Going once.
Going twice, and we'll drop it right there. I'm not going to hold it up like that. Thank you guys once again for joining. This is Jonathan Agudelo.
Thank you, everybody.
I'm Jonathan Bellato, and we'll see you guys next week at 6 p.m.
6 p.m. See you then.
Oh, that's why I couldn't.